That's my best friend. That's my best friend.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Dave Mo Flips. I know you used to see me in the chair, but today I had two monsters, so pretty excited. So the other night I was hanging out with my homeboy Joe, and we were just fucking around watching YouTube videos. And he was like, bro, your videos don't sound right. So we're trying the new microphone, seeing what that looks like, what that sounds like. So tell me what you think. But today's video, let's get right into it. So you want to be a car dealer. You think you got what it takes to buy and sell cars. I'm assuming you do because you're probably already flipping cars on the side. Chances are you're a curb stoner. Nothing wrong. I think most of us have begun there. I know I kind of dibble on that one. So anyway, big thing here. Understand one thing with curb stoning. Curb stoning is anyone who sells cars without a dealer's license, okay? So with that being said, if you're going to your neighbor or Craigslist, Facebook, whatever, buying cars, whether or not you're titling them in your name, chances are the state looks down upon it because you're not paying the income tax as earned income. That is one of the biggest things that we get into trouble with when we buy and sell cars without the license. It's never a problem until you get caught. Once you get caught, depending on how your state is going to handle the situation, will determine how much trouble you're in. Let's leave that topic alone. There's a lot of YouTube videos that will tell you how to buy and sell cars without a dealer's license. I don't want to see anyone go down that road and get jammed up. So if you can't get your own dealer's license, you're better off becoming a rep for a dealership. And truly, I know I'm going to get a lot of slack on this from other car dealers, but in my opinion, I wouldn't trade the time I've spent as a car rep or a car agent for the other dealer. I've learned a lot. I didn't mess up my name. I didn't mess up my dealership's name. Just the experience, and I made money. People pay to learn how to make money. I invested my own money, sold the cars for profit, made money. No one had their hand in my pocket other than the fees that we negotiated in the beginning. So let's get down to it. I'm in Tampa, Florida. You want to be a car dealer? 3 major things. Credit. Credit's going to play a big factor in this. Why do I say that? Let's just say you're going to be a cash dealer, and that's fine. But you still need credit to get a bond, all right? In Florida, you need a $25,000 bond. You also need credit to get your garage liability insurance. This is the insurance that covers all the vehicles, plus the tags that you have on those vehicles when they're being driven on the roads. That is credit-based as well. And then you want money. Well, credit comes into play also down the road if you're going to do financing. So banks, and this sounds crazy, right? Banks want to run your credit to lend money to your buyer. Here's why. There's a thing called recourse, okay? With recourse, let's just say I finance you a car. You don't have the best credit. Chances are you're not dealing with people that have the best credit because you're selling used cars. People with good credit tend to go to, say, Nissan. They'll go to Nissan to buy a Nissan. It's just how it works. Even if it's certified pre-owned, why wouldn't you? Anyway, like I was saying, if, let's just say, the bank says, hey, they have to make 3 months of on-time payments, and then there's no recourse past that. So that's called a 3-month recourse. They have 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and 0 recourse. But in that time period, they're going to cut you your check within like 3 days. And your credit's going to come into play because if your buyer doesn't make those payments, you owe that money. You have to give them that money back. So if you don't have good credit, the bank's like, well, I don't want to really fuck with you because you already messed up your credit. So why would I want to trust you with more money, right? So that's why your credit plays a huge role. Floor plans. If you want to get floor plans, what's a floor plan? Floor plan is when someone gives you money, a bank, Carbucks is one of them. Another one, there's one at Manheim, I'm drawing a blank right now. It's called Car something. I don't know. Anyway, there are a bunch of floor plan companies. And they're going to give you a line of credit, whatever they want. And it's every time you use their money, they want to make sure you're going to pay them back. Typically, you have 90 days to get them their money back, which means you got to sell the vehicle in 90 days. But if you don't, they want to know that you're good for it. If you're not good for it, they don't want to give you the money, right? So that's where your credit comes into play. Sometimes when you're leasing a property, they'll do a credit check. It all depends. Not too often. Usually people that have properties for rent, they're good with just your cash. And that's what it is. Now, so that's where your credit. The other part is money. You need money to start your business, right? I can't tell you how much you need because it's all different, right? I looked at a lot the other night. They wanted $2,000. I looked at another lot. They wanted $1,800. The one for $2,000 a month, they wanted $4,500 to move in. The one for 18 wanted, I think it was almost $5,000 to move in. There was another one at 27. They wanted like $8,300 plus 5%. So it's all different. So that's got to get put into play. How much your insurance costs gets put into play. How much the bond cost gets put into play. So that's all money you need. Oh, electricity and water. That's all the money you need to get up and running. That's going to be different for each and every one of us, depending on what you want to do. You're going to be a warehouse person. You're going to have a big, beautiful car lot with all the bells and the whistles, pay $10,000 a month. It all depends on what you are. So I really can't tell you too much about that. But you need to know what you want to do. Because you could get a warehouse, then sell 3 cars out of it for $500. Or you, like I said, you get a $10,000, $20,000. Sky's the limit with how much you want to spend there. So you need money to cover the rent, the bond, the insurance, electricity, water, DMS software. For those of you guys who don't know, that's dealer maintenance software. The big one is Wayne Reed. They're going to charge you $100 to $300 a month, right? You have Frazier. Frazier is, I think maybe $50 or $60 a month or $600 up front. And you just have other various ones that are just out there. And you could look. But Frazier and Wayne Reeves are usually the 2 biggest ones. Car Dealer Search. I think they, with their websites, have DMS integrated with it. And I think that's like $100 a month. And that includes a website. Cars for Sale, I think, is roughly the same. Now, I've never used their DMS software. I've had websites with both. I currently have the Dealer Car Search, but I think I like Cars for Sale better in terms of that. But that's off topic anyway. That's another video. That's more like marketing and advertising. Right now, let's just talk about the dealer stuff. So now you got to figure out, you got all that set aside. Okay, so let's just say startup costs to get off the ground running, about $10,000, just to get a regular, let's just say a $2,000 a month dealership, $2,500 a month dealership, your water, your electric, your DMS, printers, computers, furniture. And again, I'm like, with $10,000, I'm cutting it really, really close. You could save yourself money by getting a smaller lot. Okay, but let's just say $10,000 for argument's sake. Now comes inventory. So I've seen a lot of guys like, oh, I'm going to do buy here, pay here. I'm going to get a book, blah, 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 blah. Things are great. The problem with most buy here, pay here guys is they have this notion, I'm going to spend $1,500, I'm going to buy the car, and I'm going to get $1,500 down, and I'm going to start my book. So this way I have no risk. When you and I are talking, that sounds great. That sounds like it's a great plan. Straight up and down, good luck going to an auction and buying a $1,500 car. I bought a $1,400 car yesterday. I bought a Kia Sorento. It's got 155 on the clock. Perfect buy here, pay here car. It needed 2 sensors, which were $100. If it's like camshaft or something like that, crank sensor. So it needed 2, one of each. And 2 hub bearings at like $75 a piece. So I was already into this thing for $250 plus the 14, so I'm at $1,650, right? Haven't detailed it, haven't done an oil change. I could detail it myself, and the oil change I could do myself too. So $20. Anyway, for argument's sake, let's say $1,700. So if I went and said, hey, I want $1,700 down, in Florida, I still have to charge tax, title, registration. It becomes super, super hard because that all gets tacked on. And it's tax on the ending number. So if I want $3,500 on a buy here, pay here at X amount interest, I have to charge tax on that $3,500. And that comes out of my pocket. That comes out of the down payment. So even if they gave me $2,000, I'm still running backwards. You see what I'm saying? So the notion that you're going to get all your investment money on a down payment, it usually doesn't happen like that. Another thing is, I got lucky with that Kia. I only had to put $250 into it. Most times, that's not the case. On those low-end cars, that's not the case. And if that is the case, like with that Kia, I don't know that it's going to last 18 months on a buy here, pay here. Typically, you get less than $300 a month from these people. So if I'm already in the hole and I got to come out, and I got to make another 15, so this way I could see a decent amount of money that's worth the headache. You got 5 months. Now the car has to last that amount of time for me to break even. Then it has to continue to last to make more money on the car, right? So all this has to come into play. You're going to be a cash guy. That's perfect. You could be a cash seller. Again, what are you going to buy? What is your inventory going to look like? Do you want like the '08 Nissan Altimas and '08 Honda Accords that you can pick up in good condition for about $2,500 and sell them, let's just say, $35 to $5,000. That's perfect. But now you don't have your buy here, pay here's going. And how many of those types of cars do you want? Do you want 10 cars on the ground, 20 cars? So only you know what you're going to spend on your inventory. That handles the money aspect, right? And if you're going to do financing with like Nichols, Lobel, Westlake, because those are going to be the three major ones that right from the beginning will probably take any dealer. Usually the better banks want to see a proven track record. So in the beginning, you're going to deal with these subprime lenders that charge ridiculous amounts of money. They're going to cut a check for this amount, right? Out of that amount, they got their fees, the cost of the vehicle, all this other stuff that comes out, and it leaves you with whatever profits left over. Is it worth it? Yeah, you can make some money, but not every car you buy you think that is going to be financeable is, because sometimes the profit margin they want to give you is just not worth it. But again, this isn't about that. This video is about being a dealer, right? And we're basically focusing just on the money right now. So I get a lot of people asking me, like, oh, how much money do you need to get started? I would probably, realistically speaking, I would say if you're going to do your own dealership, I'd like to see about $15,000 to $20,000. Now, again, that's basing it on a $2,000 a month rent. All right. Now, if you're a warehouse person and you're paying $500 a month and you only have spots for 3 cars, that's not 3 cars a month. That's 3 cars at one time. So as soon as you sell one, you're replacing it with another one. Boom, boom, boom. It's like a rat race. Boom, boom, boom. But you're building up your bank. So it works. Your overhead's low. That's really the name of the game for me. Keeping the overhead low and the profits high. It's a way to get as much money as you can. So, you might need less if you go with a smaller rent. So keep that in mind, all right? But for me, the way I'm doing things, I need 15 to 20. 10 right from jump for the spot, and then 5 to 10 to keep the cars rolling in. And I think that's being conservative, because if my rent is $2,000, I'd like to see 10 cars minimum on the ground. And now I'm talking about like from Jump Street. I already think the first month will probably be a wash, because I don't want to go out and spend all my money on 10 cars and then have to repair those 10 cars and then try to market all 10 cars. For me, selling the cars that I sell, that $2,500 to $3,500 wholesale range, I want to buy them, buy 3 and see what, because they're gonna need something. Whether it's AC, alternator, window regulator, the stupidest shit could take the longest time. So that's how I would do it. Start advertising them. While those are being out there being advertised, I'm looking to get my next bunch of cars. And then I'm not in really a rush, but I'm still keeping it moving. So as far as the money is concerned, guys, that's the biggest thing. All right, like knowing your numbers. Another thing too is what you can do is you can call at your county, call the insurance company. Like, hey, how much is it for this county? They're gonna want an address. You don't have an address. So you're just looking to go around, make a fake address up. It doesn't matter, but use the zip code that you think you want to be in at least. And that'll kind of give you a little bit better of an idea. You can call the surety bond place, and they'll give you an estimate based on your credit right off the bat. All right. So another thing is you got to figure out, again, what you want to be. Like, what's the ultimate goal? Because there's a lot of paperwork that goes involved with it. You know, financing's one thing. Buy here, pay here is another thing. Cash cars being the easiest is another thing. The problem with cash cars is once you stop selling, that's the end of the money. Buy here, pay here is nice because you always have that money coming in. As long as they're paying you, you have money coming in. Even on a bad month, you still have money coming in. Financeable cars are nice, but just like cash cars, if nothing sells, you're not getting any money. Okay? But it's easier because you're getting $1,000 to $2,000 down and you're selling these nicer vehicles, need less work, hopefully. And that's, you know, how you're doing it. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. I'm going to come back and I'll get some more advice for you guys, okay? This was really just about the money part of it. All right, guys. See you later.
That's my best friend. That's my best friend.